Hey everybody, Patty Ann here. Listen, I don't know how well this is going to work, so please let me know in the comments if you can hear me, see me, if I'm freezing up a lot. The reason why I asked that is because we had to have the guys here in the neighborhood fixing our Wi-Fi or our internet connection today because it was totally out. So I'm hoping right now that it's on. So I'm going to wait a minute because I've got something really fun to show you. Whether you like to do paint parties or not, whether you like to count or color by number, but I don't have the numbers in there, whether you like to just crayon or color, I've got something really fun to show you. Hey, I see a couple of you are coming in. Let me know, please, if you can hear me and see me, because like I said, hey, Celeste, can you hear me or see me? Or, well, something's going on because you're here. I have something fun to show you guys today, and it's not new. But for some of you that have been liking to do painting, or if you like to color, something like that, I'm going to show you how to do a reverse canvas. Those of you who are doing paint parties may not be familiar. Great, thanks, Celeste. Those of you who are doing paint parties may not be familiar with this. Those of you who have been, hanging out with me in my different Facebook groups for a while now, you are familiar with it. But what it is sublimation and reverse canvas. And what I'm going to do is, I just made this the other day. It's one of the paint party things that I have going on. Anyway, there's more about that at my Facebook page that you can see down below. But what I'm doing is I'm making a smaller one. Thanks, Facebook user. Cuz, who's my cuz? Which cuz? Debbie? Is that you, Debbie? Anyway, I'm going to show you how to do a reverse canvas, okay? So, if you'll look down here at my top table, so I have right here a canvas that I purchased from the dollar store. And what I did was I measured across here to see in between these two boards how much space I have this way and this way. Hey, Debbie, good to see you. This way, so that I know how big I can make this. You fell in love with Highland cows? Oh, sweet. A friend of mine that lives in Simpsonville, South Carolina, used to have some. They were really cool. But this is a reverse canvas. How many of you have done reverse canvases already? If I just wanted to do a regular painting and a regular canvas, I could just do this, use my larger picture that I printed out and put it on here, sublimate it, which I'm going to show you with this heat press, and then color it or paint it. But what I decided I wanted to do was do the reverse canvas. So if you're not familiar with that, all you need to do is this. Get one of these canvases from the dollar store and have a blade like this. What is this called? I don't know. One of those blades, And so all you do then is, some people take the time to take these staples out, but I don't want to do that. So all I do, and this is a neat one because you put your finger right in here. It's supposed to help keep you safe. I go on the outside. Oh, I don't have the blade in there. Good. That's nice. I go ahead and trim this on the outside edge of the staples so that I don't even have to mess with those staples ever. So I just cut like that all the way down. And that's going to allow me, if you'll see, to make this come off. And I'll show you why I care about that in just a few minutes. Hopefully my blade's going to stay in there and not cause a disaster. I'm not sure how I put it in there wrong, but you're just going to go around all four edges. And I'm probably going a little fast, and I hope I don't cut myself right in front of you guys. So all around all four edges, and this is going to take my canvas totally off of the wood that's under it. And what's really cool about this, for those of you who like to paint or do anything, if you've not done a reverse canvas, is you automatically have a frame for it. And you can paint your frame whatever color you like, or just leave your frame, wooden. All right, let's see if I got it cut pretty well. Take this off so I don't kill myself. So I'm just going to take this off. Just wondering if any of you have done reverse canvases before. Celeste, I bet you have. So there's that. So there it is. But this is my frame. Okay, some of these from the dollar store are kind of rough, which is, this one is kind of rough, but that's okay. You know, I'm going to paint it, or I can paint it if I want to. And I could go through here now and tear off the rest of this so it doesn't show through trash. The noise is probably terrible on your ears, huh? Yeah, you've done it? Okay. All right. If you buy a little bit more expensive canvases than from the Dollar Tree, the actual frame is just a little bit nicer, but this one's fine. It's going to be fine, especially if I paint it. So what do I do next? As I said, I'm going to sublimate on this. Move that out of the way. So I need a little hot surface, and I need my canvas and my design. Now, if you're not sure what sublimation is, you have to have a special printer that has something called sublimation ink on it. And what that ink is it's an ink that once it's heated, it turns into a gas, and then it goes into your product that you have here, your thingamabob. Usually, when you're sublimating, you have to have special material onto which to sublimate. This says it's 100% cotton, but I'm still able to sublimate it easily. So now, if I wanted to sublimate on a mug, which I've shown in lots of my videos, I'd have to have a mug that had a special kind of coating on it. If I wanted to sublimate on a tumbler like this one right here, again, it would have to have a special coating on it for the sublimation to work. But on this, it works just fine. So what I did was I got the same cow picture and I printed it with my sublimation ink. And if you can see, I printed it very, very faintly because I really don't want it to show up much on here, just a little bit to help me with my painting lines, right? So y'all who saw my painting and thought, wow, she's really good. Well, like, no, she's not. She can just color in the lines. And you can too. By the way, I do have an online course coming up in that same address that you see down below. We're going to paint together. But anyway, here we go. So all I do is put this on here, and I should have a piece of plain paper to cover it so I don't burn anything. Okay. And now I have this heat press. I have several different kinds. If you saw me on yesterday's video, I actually sublimated onto this, and I used my big heat press. This one, I can use this heat press because it will be big enough. So I'm just going to bring this over here. I'm going to stand up. Come over here, knock all my stuff off, and put this down here. Try not to wiggle it because you might get a smeary line. I have this set up for 345 degrees for 45 seconds. So as soon as this is done, then I'll show you what we would do with it next. I'm really enjoying this. I didn't realize, Tammy taught me that you could sublimate right onto these canvases. And of course, if I had something larger, I could just do this for 45 seconds and then move it over and do it again for 45 seconds. But it's a really nice way to be able to trace your design onto your canvas. Oops. Okay, take that off of there. And this should be done. It's very, 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 very hot. And let's see what we got. So this page, get rid of. Could save it to use it again, but I'm going to get it out of my way for right now. And let's see what we have here. Ah, perfect. And so I wanted to tell you, you will be able to use this sublimated paper many times. I don't know how many yet. People have been asking me that, but I'm new to using it on canvas, so I'm not sure how often. So the next thing that I would do then is to go ahead and paint this. Hopefully you can see how nicely those lines turned out. Look at that. I mean, how easy would it be to color that, right? Or paint it. But the next thing that you do is maybe you want to paint this frame red, you know, to kind of match the balls, these Christmas tree balls, maybe on a tray, paint it gold or brown, whatever. You could paint this with your same acrylic paints. And then the next thing that you do, once you have it painted, make sure you have it on here how you like it. And then flip it over. And then the next thing you would do is take a staple gun. I didn't have one, so I just thought I was going to kind of pretend with this that I was stapling it, but I don't even think this one comes apart. Well, you need a staple gun to just staple this back onto here. And once it's stapled back on, after you've painted it and you've stapled it on, you can go ahead and with that same blade that you had before, and of course you'd want to be on your mat that's not going to get torn up like that side would. So imagine this is staple gunned onto here. And I would take the same blade and just go along the edges, trimming it up so that it doesn't show. And then you'd have a really cool looking design that's already framed. So I think it's a lot of fun, quite easy. I'm going to paint this today. I'll post a picture on that Paint and Sip with Patty Ann page. And I guess I'll post one on the Cutting Up with Patty Ann page too, because some of you are just members there. So what do you think? Are you going to try this? Who out there does sublimation? And you might want to try this. This would be a fun thing to give kids for Christmas. Keep them busy. They could use markers. They could use crayons. They could use paint. And then you could frame it. Another fun thing to do, and I've done this before with kids' artwork, is to just go ahead and sublimate their artwork onto something. And they would love that, having that framed in their room, their artwork. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, tell people about it, especially if you're doing paint parties. Because if you're like me, and I'm just starting doing that, you have to, actually what they tell you to do is trace these, with tracing paper, or what's it called, graphite paper. So if you had a party of 20 people and you had to trace this 20 times, that could take a long time. But if you have sublimation, you can do it like that. And if you don't have sublimation, that could be a goal of yours with your parties, to make enough money to be able to buy a sublimation printer and maybe one of these presses. If you went to Heidi's training recently, she told us how important it was to have goals. So that could be your goal for your paint parties. So thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you all again soon.